sunglasses on because my eyes are all red. I only slept 5 hours.
Anyway, to save data on your phone so you don't have to edit it, we can talk about the subject and get right to the point where I brought up something. I was like, man, I thought of a theory, and this happened, and that happened, and then Mom was like,
first of all, let's just say we're on the road from Austin, Texas to Southern California. We're having a road trip, me and Jared, because my dad is in his last final hours of life, and we're trying to get there before he passes. And we were just talking about that. Jared said, I think we can do it. I think we'll get there. And I said, yeah, maybe so. I think he's waiting for me to get there, but if we don't make it, it's okay because I don't want him to suffer. So we just started having that conversation.
And then I said, Mom, my theory on the afterlife is like people that don't believe in the spirit realm. I believe, and my theory is that people who don't believe get stuck here too. Like possibilities of like different people get stuck here on Earth,
right,
on the spirit realm, like the ghosts and stuff.
Right. So you were asking me my shamanic opinion on that.
Yes.
And what I said was that that's true. People get stuck in the middle world, and it has nothing to do with your faith or your belief or your religion. It has to do more with like your own belief system about yourself. So like a lot of Christians, they believe they're going to go to heaven, but they also have like an inner secret fear that they don't necessarily maybe talk about to people, that they're not good enough or that they really aren't going to go to heaven, or
Anyway,
so they end up actually getting stuck.
Like I said, well, when I die, I'm going to go to a place that's above heaven. And it sounds messed up for people that are Christian or like religion-wise, but then I have this really strong like gut and mental feeling that when I die, there's this white space, not even heaven, it's above heaven. It's so white and so pure that I have my other people there, and I'm going to have I'm hoping, like, I feel like this is it. It's like, like myself was talking, there's going to be like flashbacks of my soul, from the beginning of my soul all the way out, like an arch. So I have all my flashbacks of everything that happened in all my past lives.
A remembering. That's what I would call it.
And I think it ends with me.
A remembering.
So like my old soul, my super old soul dies when I die. Like I'm the ending.
You mean this is your last incarnation? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Oh. You think so?
Yep.
Oh, awesome.
I know so. I feel it.
Wow.
And I think it's funny how we talk about these videos, right? I talk about it in these videos, and like half the stuff I'm saying, I don't even think I'm saying it.
Yeah.
It's like my other self is saying it.
Your higher self.
Yeah, because I say stuff that seems so not me that I'm like, wait, what did I just say?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't know I was that smart.
Yeah. Yeah. You're claircognizant like I am. You channel information. Instead of like clairvoyant, people see things, or clairaudient, they hear things. You also get direct knowing. It's called claircognizant, where it just comes out at you, channels through you. And
like I did to the doctor. I like channeled what I was saying to the doctor, and I said it in like a medical way.
Right.
And I was like, what the hell did I just say?
Yeah. So I feel like you and I have had a lot of lives together. Do you have that sense?
Some, yeah. I have like there's the African one. I was an elephant, and then there's were you in Egypt at all? There's this really strong memory I have of Egypt.
I was in Egypt, but not
like it's my own memory. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's like I feel like it's my own memory, and I still get it. I still have this memory that I was in Egypt.
Yeah.
I've never been to Egypt, but I mean like Egyptian time.
Yeah.
I don't know, BC.
My Egyptian life was bad. I did very bad things, and I killed a lot of people. And
I was a prince.
I was a sorcerer.
I was a prince.
Responsible for a lot of people dying.
That's probably why I have really strong beliefs in Egyptian gods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Ra.
Yeah. What were you? What did you say you were? A king?
I was a prince.
Oh, prince.
King's different.
Oh, prince.
And I was a prince. I wouldn't be a king until I was a prince looking for a wife. Still couldn't find one. Makes sense. Runs in my old soul bloodline.
Well, I wonder if we knew each other in that life. I mean, I know what my clothes looked like, and I had this very distinctive piece of jewelry that I wore, and I wish I could draw better because I would love to draw it. It was an eye, but it wasn't like the eye of Ra or like it was. I don't know.
Isn't that so
very
interesting how we
distinct.
have the same thought? I've been drawing eyes lately. Like eyes. I just love drawing eyes, but I can't figure out the right eye that I like to draw. I mean, I'm really attracted to the eye of Ra, because how it droops down like that, like
Right.
the little
Yeah.
symbolize. But it's like that's not the eye I'm looking for.
That's not the eye that I wore on my jewelry. It was gold. It was like made out of gold. My bracelet.
So were you saying that you're my sorcery back then?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I haven't connected deeply enough to feel like if I recognize anybody from that life, I just saw myself, what I was wearing, and I know I had a lot of power, and I used it bad and hurt a lot of people.
This sounds like a gnarly possibility, but what happens in my Egyptian time that sorcery, like, because there's people who say sorcery wasn't real, but like, let's say if it was technically real for them,
Yeah.
if it was real, and they believed in perfect soulmates. I had this memory where I was in Egypt and I was a prince and I was looking for my soulmate. I finally found her,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember it so clearly, like it's my own memory. It's so gnarly, and it's like I finally found her, and then we're trying to get killed by like a whole bunch of evil spiders and creatures like snakes and stuff that are giant. They're massive in my dream. And imagine if sorcery was real and you could cast spells making insects and stuff larger than they are. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Life is a trip, isn't it? Being a human being on this earth is really a trip.
Like I was saying like a soulmate, like what happens if that soulmate, like the reincarnation of the wife or future wife I'm supposed to have is the future wife I'm supposed to meet in my life.
Yeah.
Like I've always been married in I always meet up with the same person over and over and
you
over.
do?
Like imagine that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like theory wise, like
yeah.
so like people say it was destined. That's the word, destiny.
Right.
Destiny to marry this person.
Well, I mean, and the thing of it is that because you were saying that, you know, you didn't think that Grandpa was really that much of a believer, and I was telling you, because I was saying that I think he's waiting for me to come because I feel him psychically calling me, and then you said, I don't think Grandpa believes in that. And then
I said, why? And then you're like, why? And I was like, well, because when Grandma died, the whole family brought the ashes in the house. And I remember recording videos, and all of a sudden, the day before, like we went to the funeral and got the ashes and stuff, I started recording the house, and I didn't see nothing in my video, right? But when we bring the ashes out, ashes in the house, tongue twister. When I brought the ashes in the house, and I started to record to make a prank video on my friends, you start seeing things going flying like crazy, and you're like, what the hell?
Right.
Like white orbs going through the walls and everything.
I think I put that video on YouTube, actually.
Probably. That's a nice Mustang. That's a 65 Mustang.
I'm pretty sure I did. But anyway, yeah, that happened in Grandma and Grandpa's house.
It's hard to see. Like, let's say if you guys are looking through mine, that's what you're seeing. Look, you can't even see my face. I mean, I can see forward, but I can't see the camera.
So anyway, what happened? You recorded the video in Grandma and Grandpa's house after we brought Grandma's ashes into the house.
Yeah, and then I showed you it, and you thought it was really cool and neat, and then like Dad thought it was cool, but then when Grandpa saw it, he didn't really believe it. He's like, I don't really believe in that stuff.
Oh yeah.
So like, I was like, wow.
Well, that's part of the problem, I think, is that, you know, now that he's in the end time of his life,
he's near death, so like he's
He's terrified. He's absolutely terrified is what it is. And that's why he's hung out on, clinging to life much, much longer than...
Man, why does it feel like we're going so slow?
His body, really, wanted him to, because within himself he's conflicted. He's been conflicted for a long time about that. Because he doesn't believe in the afterlife, or he doesn't know what to believe, and he's terrified, he's scared. And people like that do get stuck in the middle world.
Wouldn't it make sense?
But even people that think they're going to heaven get stuck in the middle world, so that's not necessarily...
Like, I've been to, dead when I had a seizure, and, I know I'm going to heaven.
Yeah.
Or above, technically. Because
right.
I'm not going to heaven, I'm going above it.
Yeah.
What's the word for it?
Yeah, to upper world.
When you, what's the word? I know the word, though.
Ascend.
That's it. See, we got it.
Yeah.
Connected with that. We're at Ascension.
Yeah.
Ascension. I'm above.
Yeah.
It sounds messed up to say to other people when they say they believe in heaven, and they're like, well, and it feels wrong because it's like for them, it probably feels wrong. You're like, you're incorrect, and then you're gonna blow up the comic, and like, and then I'm gonna be like, so what? It's a lot of people believe if they're a higher frequency, they're higher.
Yes.
Yeah. I believe that I'm higher than heaven because I believe that in my world, I don't believe God runs heaven. He's above it.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's I would think about heaven and hell as levels.
Yes.
Not like a video game levels.
Right.
There's two sections of heaven. There's heaven where everybody lives, and basically think of it like this: there's a White House. And then think of that White House, and there's a border that no one else knows about, and I'm going to go beyond that. It's another white space. So I'm thinking of heaven all white and like paradise, where
right.
you want to die and you want to dream in you want to die in your dream, basically, like your fantasy dream, where you want to die on a beach or something,
yes.
corny,
yeah.
and then there's God just constructing everything, and then I'm going beyond that.
Right.
It's hard to explain it to people when they don't know what I'm talking about.
Totally,
so I have to explain it to people that are watching.
I totally understand what you're saying. I've been to those places, so it doesn't seem weird to me, and I think that's why shamanism is so different than like a religion, because in a religion it teaches you to live by faith, not by sight.
I say I'm a shaman, but I don't consider myself like an old school or nor modern shaman. I'm more of like a exotic shaman.
Okay, well, everybody is different, in their expression anyway, but yeah.
And then I get Shaman Insight from you, and then Patrick.
Yeah. Yes.
He's great to talk to. It's fun to talk to.
Yeah, it's super fun to talk to.
He breaks it down too, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I understand. Like you do.
Yeah.
So it's always nice to have shamanic people, friends.
Yes.
Yes.
So going back to Grandpa, I think that's part of why he's hanging on so long, is he's just so terrified of dying, because he doesn't know what's going to happen to him. But as far as like psychic, I know he believes in that, because my whole life he's told me he feels like we have a psychic connection. When I was younger and, going through stuff in my life, it's like he would know something was wrong with me or going on with me.
And then he'll call you?
Or he would tell Grandma, like, oh, something's wrong, or, we better check on Amy, or whatever.
Like you do with me.
So, he does believe in psychic connection and psychic abilities. He just doesn't necessarily connect with or believe in the afterlife, and so, yeah, I think that's, what's going on with him. So,
I still love Grandpa a lot. Just want to say that. I'm going to miss him.
If we can get there, in time, and even if he's not completely coherent, his spirit's still there.
If he's still there, then that means I get to say stuff.
Right.
And I get a little, I would feel a little, what's the word for it? Yeah.
it's an honor to be with someone at the end of their life. It's just like
I never been to someone like that, but I've always went after the funeral.
right.
Well, besides a friend in California. Like I had old timers. Old timers sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
It's really interesting if you think about it in our culture, because every single person on this planet will die. But how many people have you really seen and been with in the last moments of their life? It's rare.
When I was in a coma for 7 days, which was like, I remember, because that's where I got that vision. I talked to Susan about it.
Yeah.
Remember Susan?
Yes.
I talked to Susan about that dream. When I was in a coma, I brought it up to her. And I walked through it, and that was gnarly. That was a gnarly, not technically a dream, but I was technically in a super bad coma. And people ask you, everyone asks, what happens when someone's in a coma? What do they think about? And then my friends will be like, I'll be like, well, when I was in a coma, I was, in my thought, I saw like 20 freaking doors and a door right at the end, straight ahead from me, glowing underneath. But every time I tried to reach for that door, I was so scared to open it. So terrified. I was like, should I do it? Oh my God, I shouldn't do it. Like, I feel like a bad feeling. But I feel like that door, in a way, I feel glad that I opened it. Because I know people will be like, don't open the door. In a spiritual belief, you don't open those doors. I'm like, man, I'm more like, man, I'm a rebel. I'm gonna open that door. I don't care what's on the other side. I open that door. And then I was talking to someone inside that room. I don't even know if it was a room. It was like I opened the door and it was all white, and I was talking to someone. It felt like 3-4 hours in my head, but apparently it was like 7 days in a coma. So that all happened. Like the door thing happened like real quick. I walked down it, opened the door, boom. But when you hesitate, you're like, should I do it? Should I not? But that feels like an eternity when you're doing that. It feels like forever. But like when you open that door, you walk through it. I mean, I'm not recommending anyone else to do it.
Getting a call.
Who's that? Oh, okay. Pause this.
I mean,
all right, bad news came in. Crappy.
Go ahead, say it.
You say it.
I can't. I'm driving. I'll start crying.
Leslie called, one of her
Grandpa's sister.
Grandpa's sister.
Yeah.
I don't know Leslie very much. I know Grandpa a lot better. I don't know Grandpa's family, but I know Grandpa because Grandpa comes over every time, like Grandpa every holiday, And then Leslie called and said 5 minutes ago, Grandpa died.
Yeah.
Or passed away, should I say. Passed away. Sounds better.
Yeah.
Grandpa passed away. But the nice thing that we get to hear was he passed away peacefully. That's a nice thing.
Yep. So we didn't make it, but we were just talking about him, so that's not coincidence.
I mean, it's not the worst thing.
It's not coincidence that we were just...
It makes the journey a little more sad. For me.
Yes, it does. It doesn't end my work as a shaman. It really just means my work begins. The first 5 days after death, they don't really leave anyway. They're still here, really, on Earth. So, it's the kind of time to do the work that we do as shamans and help with that transition in the ways that we can, and so that's all right, but I'm bummed out that the timing was not a little bit better.
In 2 miles, keep left onto US 83 North.
I really wanted to be there and try to ease some of his fear, and sing to him and stuff like that, just to sad. He was suffering so much.
He lost a lot of weight.
So I'm really, really glad that he... Yeah. So I don't think we have any more else to say at this point, because I have some phone calls I have to make. Do you have anything to say?
Well, currently not right now.
Yeah.
Well, now we're just all, it just set a mood.
Yeah. And we'll talk.
Well, if we talked about it, we would both probably cry.
Yeah.
It'd be a chain reaction. Mom will start crying, then I would think about it, and then I would
In
probably
1
start
mile,
crying, to be
keep
honest.
left onto
And
US
I'm driving
83
and I don't need
north.
to be crying. So we'll make more videos as time goes on.
Yeah, we'll talk about the thing we're talking about in the other video, and then Mom will make a part 2 thing, because, like, it's,
It's a beautiful day, the sun's shining, and
at least Leslie said it's pouring rain down there, so now we know the weather when we get there.
feel the breath of life in and out, and just be grateful for every day you got. All right, bye, guys.
Bye.